Hello, how's everyone doing? Hi, Function to Flair. How's your day going? Thanks everybody for joining. Hey, I want to give you all, thanks for the hearts. I want to give you all a tip, a resume tip for today. And usually, hi everyone who's joining. Usually my tips come from real clients that I have. And this particular resume that I was working on today, are you? Do you still reside in Memphis? Where do you currently reside? I have been in Memphis all my life. I have been trying to get away. Oh, okay, cool. Some of my mom's side of the family, they're from Somerville and Mason and that whole area. My father's church used to be in Covington and Atoka. Also, I know about that whole area. Hi, Inside Kim's World. Thanks for joining. Cool, cool. So, what high school did you attend? Did you move to Somerville before you finished high school? ECS. Okay, cool beans, cool beans. Awesome. So for those of you who are just joining, my name is Megan. I am a communication specialist. Thanks for the hearts. I am a communication specialist and I provide writing and editing services for businesses and individuals. I do a lot of resumes. I do media kits. Anything that has to do with editing and writing. I've been a magazine publisher for 8 years, so I have my own publication. Okay, I sure will. This is one of my issues, the men's issue. So if you've ever heard of Trent Shelton, you definitely want to check that out. And I've also written a book. This is my book, Glamour Girl, How to Get the Ultimate Makeover. Yeah, so I'm just a word girl. Yeah, so to find out more about everything that I do, all of my brands, you can go to meganmotley.com. Okay, awesome, awesome. Kim, you can go to because I've been a journalist for over 15 years, I'm at a point now where I just enjoy helping other people who are interested in starting magazines or writing books, for example. So I do a lot of training. So, for example, this is a resource guide that I created for my magazine because a lot of people would ask me, how do you start a magazine? How do you start a magazine? And so I wanted to be able to help people and make it efficient to help people. So I actually have a CD, it's like an audio instructional on how to start a magazine, and it comes with this resource guide, which is it basically breaks down how to start a magazine. And I also provide some of the people who have helped me along the way in terms of graphic designers that I've used, printers that I've used, different resources. So I do a lot of training. That information is found on meganmotley.com. You'll see MTLY Communications, which is also under the umbrella where I do resumes. So we're going to get to the resume tip, the worst mistake ever, in just a second. If you're interested in the magazine that I showed, you can download free issues when you go to meganmotley.com. Hi, Cookies34. Thanks for joining. You'll see Divine Magazine. Click that, and it'll take you to the Divine Magazine's website where you can download the free issues, the one with Trent Shelton, and tons of back issues, tons of articles to provide hope and inspiration and just to keep you motivated. So we're always highlighting and spotlighting people that are doing awesome and amazing things. So if that's you, if you're doing some awesome and amazing things in your community, please go to meganmotley.com and click Divine Magazine and send us a message, and we'd be happy to feature you. I also mentioned my book. When you go to meganmotley.com, you'll see the Glamour Girl movement. I created a movement in 2011 for women to encourage women to focus on their inner beauty as much as we focus on our outer beauty, and it's based on my book. which is Glamour Girl, How to Get the Ultimate Makeover. And so if you're looking for a great book to read about inner beauty and outer beauty and how to discover your purpose and what on earth you were put on this earth to do, definitely check out my book there. I also have a free ebook that you can download. It's called The 7 Traits of a Highly Scorned Woman, and it's really exploring a lot of the things that we deal with as women that can hinder us from walking in our purpose and doing what we need to do. So if you have found yourself to just kind of be stagnant and you don't really know what that's about, I encourage you to go to MeganMotley.com and then look for the Glamour Girl movement and check out that ebook, 7 Traits of a Highly Scorned Woman. It's free, and so I would love for you to check that out. I appreciate all of the hearts. Thank you so much. So the resume tip, that is the worst mistake I have probably seen by far. And this was someone who had a lot of experience, 15 plus years of experience, high up. And instead of the word public speaking, can you all guess what word she used instead of public speaking? And I was just in awe. So yes, I was like, ah! So now I understood why she probably wasn't, I know it was awful. Now I understand why she probably wasn't getting any feedback from her resume, because people look at that. If they see that you have a background in, a lot of different things, or you're saying, in their mind, you're saying you have a background in all these different things, and then they read through your resume and it was at the top. I have this technique that I refer to as above the fold. It's kind of like with a newspaper. That's a journalism term, especially in the newspaper world, that when people see the headline above the fold, it has to be something so captivating that it's going to make them pick up the paper. So I use that same technique, the above the fold technique, so that the first time that an employer or a hiring manager scans your resume, they're going to see certain things. And this mistake that was made on this client's resume was at the top. And they probably saw that and said, no way, because they think, oh, this person is saying that they have all these credentials, but they missed this key thing. They didn't get anybody to go back and check this. Or what if they make this type of mistake once we hire them? Companies will fire you if you're responsible for that type of communications. And ironically, that was the client's background. Their background was communications and marketing and branding. And a hiring manager will throw your resume away. So that is probably one of the worst errors that I've ever seen. And I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen a lot of typos, but that one was the worst. So for those of you who are just joining, this particular client, instead of public speaking on their resume, they had, well, you just guess what was on the resume. I had to do a double take because it did not say public speaking. And so I cannot impress upon you enough the importance of hiring a professional. You may have several degrees. You may have, it is very embarrassing. You may have several degrees. I have a master's degree, and I taught English for 4 years. But when I finished my manuscript for this book, I hired an editor. And I also had a retired English teacher to look at it before I gave it to the editor. I had a retired English teacher to look at it. I had several friends to read through it who I knew they weren't editors. Hey, Katrina, thanks for joining. They weren't editors by trade, but I knew them. I had known them over the years, and I knew that they had just an eye for certain things. So I had several different people to comb through my manuscript because everybody's going to catch something different. And then I sent it over to an editor, a person who gets paid to edit manuscripts. And so even though you may have several degrees and you may be the best at catching everybody else's errors, when it's your work, it's so easy because you look for certain things and you just may miss. You may just be looking at the formatting and making sure it's all on one page, or if that accolade is there, you may not be combing through for those typos. So I cannot impress upon you enough the importance of getting someone to check, to hire a professional, number one, and to make sure that that professional is able to catch all of your typos. So for those of you who are just joining, the worst mistake that I've ever seen, and I've been doing resumes, man, for over 11, 12 years. It's been a long time. And so the client, instead of public speaking, they had another kind of speaking, but it wasn't public. Okay, so I had to do a double take, and I was so embarrassed for the client, and I immediately realized why the client had not been getting any feedback. Because if you have 10, 15 plus years of experience and you're saying that your background is communications and marketing and attention to detail and this and that, and then you have on your resume a huge error instead of public speaking, you have another type of speaking there, they're going to pass you right on by. So it is so important to hire a professional. If you need someone to review your resume, I will review your resume for free. Just email it to mtlycommunications@gmail.com, and I will let you know if you have a big fat typo that's going to keep you from getting hired, getting your foot in the door, at least getting an interview, because people look at that. You may be looking for formatting, you may be checking just if your resume can fit all on one page, or if that key achievement that you just accomplished last year, or that accolade is on there. You may not be looking for those typos and things, but I am a trained professional. I have been in this industry for 15 plus years. I have done this for so long. I was doing this before I even had a job title along with it, because my mom used to do the I'm a preacher's kid, so my mom used to do the programs for church, and I would always spot her errors, and she would just be like, oh, I should just get you to do this. So I've always had eagle eyes. So it wasn't until I realized that this was a gift that I actually started providing writing and editing services for other people. So if you need me to review your resume, I would love to. Please go to mtlycommunications@gmail.com. I do not always offer free resume review. This is a perk for you all as my Periscope friends and buddies, and for all of you all who are showing me this love with all the hearts. So I only offer this to certain groups of people. I don't do free resume reviews for everyone. So please know that that is a perk. Don't sit on this opportunity. Even if you are pleased with your job and you have no thought about moving on, you may just want to just let me take a look and let you know some feedback, because you never know what's going to happen with these jobs every day, with these positions. So you want to be ready. And I've given that resume tip before. A lot of people who come to me to get their resumes done aren't looking for jobs. They just want to make sure that just in case they have a resume ready. So again, if you need me to look at your resume, email it to mtlycommunications@gmail.com. You always need to work with a professional when you are trying to project a professional image. I don't care if you've only had one job and it was at McDonald's on fries. I'll make you look good on paper. So let me upgrade you, please, with my resume recovery system. So thanks for joining. If you need to rewatch this video so you can find out the worst mistake ever, if you're just joining a little bit too late, please rewatch. And thank you all so much for joining. Have a good day. Bye.